Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Girls That Get It podcast with your hosts, Ken and Han. We are back for episode 8, and today we just thought it would be fun to do a random Q&A and kind of just go back and forth and ask each other burning questions that have been on our mind. So we're going to do that, but first, as always, we got to start with our highs and lows. So Kenna, you can start.
All right. I think my low last week was that I got sunburned. So my low this week is that my sunburn is peeling.
Still here.
Still here. It's not painful, but if you don't know, my skin's dry. Always dry. Will be dry the rest of my life. And it's extra dry right now. And legs, back, arm, stomach, all peeling. And it's not the satisfying peel where it all comes off in one layer. It's the flaky nonsense that I can't get freaking rid of.
Right. So, and it's like annoying and not cute kind of thing.
Yeah. Like even today or this evening, I went to get drinks. And when the guy saw me, they were like, "Oh, you're peeling." And I was like, "Thanks."
Like, yep. That's how you know summer is starting.
I was like, I am.
That's funny.
So that's my low, but honestly, not a terrible low.
I was going to say, considering the lows of the low, like that's not the lowest I've heard.
She's doing
so that's
okay.
good. That's good.
And then my high is that last week and even this week, I've been having lots and lots of job interviews. I would say at least one a day, if not 2 to 3 a day. So hopefully my luck in that category will be changing very, very, very shortly.
I hope so. I have high hopes for you. I hope so. We'll see, though. Don't want to get too excited, but I have high hopes. I'm just going to put it on record here and say that I think you'll get it. Because
a wise woman once said, "Don't get too comfortable." So
that we know that's right.
Not to quote anyone, but it applies to this instance as well.
It does. It does. Okay. Wow.
What about you?
So my low. We start with lows here, so we can end on a good note. My low is kind of really silly, but my low is that this week I did not get a paycheck because the week before, like the week before that I would have been paid for, I was sick all week, so I didn't go to work. So I was balling on a budget this week, but it's actually hilarious because I probably went shopping the most this last weekend that I have in like the last month. And even my boyfriend was like, "You literally just said you didn't get a paycheck and now you're out here wanting to go to all these stores." I'm like, "You're right, but
get you a man that holds you accountable though."
I know.
Am I right?
I was like, "You got to stop me. We can't go into any more stores," because I didn't even spend that much, but considering like the 1 week I didn't get paid, I'm out here trying to spend money and buy clothes, but it is what it is. So that was my low. My high is that I had my school ring ceremony this week, and I got my class ring, and it was really fun. It wasn't like that eventful. We just went to this auditorium. Somebody important gave a speech. Different people said different things, but I didn't know they were going to call our names, and we were going to walk across this stage and like shake the ring guy's hand and like get. Every
single person did this?
Yes, but not that many people went because it's like an optional ceremony to go. You can just pick up your ring at like the student union if you don't want to go. So there really wasn't that many people. But it was fun. I also like unknowingly wore a light blue blazer and I showed up and everybody was wearing red and I was like, "Oh my God, I look like I go to Chapel Hill right now."
I was about to say wrong color for the school.
I was like, oops. But I have nothing red besides an NC State t-shirt and then like one random like long sleeve shirt. So I kind of, my options were limited. But as I was sitting in the audience, like watching everybody go, I was like, "Oh, I am sticking out like a sore thumb here." But it was okay. Got my ring. They took a picture of me also, which I was not prepared for. And I'm waiting to like get an email about it because I want to see it. But it was fun. I really like my ring. It's very simple, but still has like the school name and all that stuff. And it has my like initials and year engraved on it. So very happy with that. And yeah, that was that. So to get into the Q&A, I don't even know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I always get nervous because I come up with questions for Han and vice versa. So we don't know what the other's going to say. And we already discussed there's going to be, well, maybe there'll be juice, maybe there'll be tea, but we didn't intentionally create questions trying to get the other to, spill the goods.
Right. Well, and we just said random Q&A. We didn't come up with like a category or a topic.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not scared to see what you're going to ask me, but I'm like, I'm always curious to see like what track we both go, because it could be as lighthearted as like, what's your favorite color? Or it could be like, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made? Like, you know what I mean?
I tried to give a mixed bag, so
Me too.
whatever we're feeling, but I feel like our general rule for the Q&As is like, you have to answer.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is not a truth or drink. We're answering all these questions.
I know. I even feel like when we do the juice episode, whenever that comes, like
we have to answer. Yeah, because then what's the point if we don't? Because then we're just sitting here.
And that will be nerve-wracking, at least for me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. But for today, it hopefully won't be that nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I didn't write anything bad. What did you write? I'm scared.
I didn't write anything bad either.
Okay, let's just get into it.
Okay, so there's two that you've already brought up without even knowing it. So I'll do this to ease into it.
Okay.
For anyone that doesn't know and that hasn't listened to our previous episodes, this is Hannah's last week of college. She graduates Saturday, so huge accomplishment. Yeah. I'm sure we'll recap all those festivities next week, but how does it feel to be entering your last week of college? Ever? Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, yeah, who knows? For now, I don't even know. I don't have words. Like,
she's speechless.
I know I am, because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I am technically going to be like a real world adult in a week. Not really, because I'm not going to like be in the workforce yet. But I'm just like, what am I going to do with my time after Saturday? Like, I won't have to think about, I got homework next week, I got class, like I'm donezo. I don't know, I have mixed feelings because I'm so excited and ready to be done. But it's also scary because then I'm like, oh wait, what does a real person do who doesn't have like class and homework to worry about? Like, I got to start applying to jobs or what, like, I don't know. And I'm already feeling like people always tell me when I say like I'm so excited to graduate, people always say who have already graduated, they're like, you'll miss it, you'll wish you didn't wish the time away, like this whatever. And I'm already like kind of feeling that, and I'm not even done. I'm like, can I go back?
Bestie.
I don't know.
Nothing gives you perspective more than like losing something in a way, and like not that you're losing school and not that you're losing college, you just can never go back and like redo the first like your undergrad years.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I know I told you this the other day, but I don't think it was on the podcast. I'm pretty sure it was just in conversation. But I was saying to Kenna the other day that like I was driving through campus to pick up my graduation tickets, and I was just like, wow, this campus, this life is about to not exist. And I don't know why, like, there's something magical about like walking through a college campus, or like when you have hours of homework to do, like going to the library, spreading it out on a big table and just sitting there with like a coffee or a smoothie or a whatever and just like grinding at the college library. I don't know why. Just like a campus makes me feel like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a sense of comfort too.
It is.
It's like a nurturing environment. You know, it's relatively a safe place, and
I know. So I'm kind of gonna miss that, but I am very excited to graduate and finally like start to see what my life is gonna be. I don't know. Yes. It's scary, but it's exciting.
I feel like Saturday is the day that you've talked about for so long. Not even the sense that like graduating, but like starting that next chapter and like, oh, when this happens, I'll figure it all out or start working on it, and it's here.
I know. It's literally in 6 days. We're recording this on Sunday. It's in 6 freaking days.
This time next week, it'll be your first day as a college graduate.
No.
She's like, I'd like to go back now.
I need to go back. Can I rewind? Actually,
grad school, here I come.
I was thinking that. I was like, dang, like I don't want to be an adult yet. I just want to still be a college kid, which I mean, I guess grad students are adults, but you know what I mean. It's
right.
Yeah,
it's a slower entryway into
exactly. I'm excited though. Yeah, we'll give y'all all the tea and the rundown next weekend. But very excited. Okay, so my first question. This one, I don't have a particular order. I literally just wrote them down in the order that I thought of, so I'm just going to read them off in that order.
Sure.
And My first question is why why are you a Starbucks hater? I wrote this down like forever ago whenever you would always like roast me or be like you have a coffee problem, and I want to know why you're a Starbucks hater.
I'm glad you brought this up.
But
I am not a Starbucks hater. I go to Starbucks a decent amount.
okay.
Like maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week, but then sometimes I go on hiatus and it's like a month or two.
That's suspicious.
So,
okay. All right. Okay.
She said that's suspicious.
Tell me more.
I just think there's some girlies, and all love to these girlies. I'm not here to hate on anyone's coffee order, but I am.
Okay.
I don't, and this not even just for the girlies, but
I already know what you're gonna say.
the people that have to have coffee every day or and I'm not saying that you are addicted, but the people that are so addicted to like holding the cup, going to Starbucks, doing the whole process, which I get it. I love a coffee shop. I'm not here to hate on the coffee shop. Like I don't even really need a drink at Starbucks. I go to feel
just
something.
the environment and just saying you went, and
yeah. Also, kind of a hoe for the bacon Gouda and egg breakfast sandwich. I'll say it. Okay,
that's a good fire.
It's not revolutionary, but you know what you're getting every time. Anyway, but I also will say I feel like they're raising prices, and I don't like it. And so I know how much everyone's spending. Like I ordered my same order to a T, and it was $2 more, and I was like, I didn't change anything. Also, what's up with the whole almost $1 upcharge for almond milk, oat milk,
like non-dairy substitutes or whatever? Yeah.
I don't charge me a little something, but $1?
I saw some other girl talk about that on TikTok the other day, and I was like, shout out Kenna, I thought of you when I saw it. I was like, I know she said this before, which is true. Definitely, like, sure, you can charge me extra, but a whole $1 is kind of ridiculous.
50 cents is your max. I'll give you up to 50 cents. But it started when I first started doing the substituting the milk. It was 70 cents, then went to 80, and now it's at 90.
Also, it literally probably cost them $1 for the whole shipment of like.
Literally,
because when you
y'all make it bank, okay?
I know when like big businesses shop in bulk, like the amount they're actually paying for the ingredients is nothing compared to what they're charging. So it's like, come on, throw a girl a bone. You don't have to charge a whole $1 for an upcharge for oat milk.
I also think it doesn't change the way you make it. It's the exact same way. I think you should be charged more for complicated ass orders, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if you're taking more time, and sure, if it's like a really complex order with 50 things in it, charge them for that.
Right.
But like the time. So I'm not a Starbucks hater. There was just a period, and there still is a period, where I feel like you've been going a lot, bestie.
Oh, well, let me tell you a little bit about that real quick, because I got a rebuttal, okay?
She's like, let me state my case.
Me asking.
She's going to say she got gift cards.
Yes, but I'm also going to say two things. One, I did have gift cards for a while because I got 2 for Christmas. My mom gave me one for watching her dogs. And I was saving them up because I was like, I don't want to pay for this, so I'm going to use them. So I used them. Okay, they ran out. Great. Now what? I'm still going. Cool. My boyfriend, and you can ask him.
Oh,
he wants to, and was this intentional? Maybe, maybe not. But when we first started dating, I would always want to go to Starbucks. And I introduced him to my coffee order that he's now obsessed with. And he always says, let's go to Starbucks, babe. Or he doesn't call me babe, but let's go to Starbucks. Let's go to, but literally this morning we went to breakfast and I got coffee at breakfast. And he was like, I think we need to go to Starbucks. And I was like, bro, I don't even want to go. And he was like, well, I do. So we're going. And he always wants to go. So he's my Starbucks like sugar daddy because he always wants to go to Starbucks.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
I mean,
he feels
it's
my
good.
obsession.
Trust me, I get it. I think it's also, okay, I got another hot take.
Okay.
I heard on a podcast, so don't know if it's true, but I heard that things like coffee, soda, energy drinks, they don't really give you energy. Like caffeine doesn't provide you energy. It just blocks the chemicals or whatever it is that makes you feel tired.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly true.
Which blew my mind. Because,
that's true.
And that's why I've never felt like anything caffeinated, even energy drink, soda, whatever it is. I don't really drink coffee.
Right.
I don't feel anything.
Me either.
So I've never drank something like, oh, I have a jolt of energy. Even pre-workout, it's purest form. I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit more awake, but like you don't see me busting off the walls.
Yeah. I agree with that. I've never understood. I've never felt the like, oh, I'm all jazzed up now after drinking a coffee or energy drink either. So
No, I'm
I don't
definitely a
know.
Starbucks lover.
Plus,
Coffee.
the
disser.
Starbucks app with the stars, that's what gets you, because they'll be like, order this and that and you get 30 extra bonus stars, and then you're 10 stars away from free this. So then it's like you spend more money to get the deals and get all the stuff, and you end up, because they want you to think you're saving, but you're really not.
You're
just spending
more
money.
more.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I will say what I'm guilty of is when I go, I will reload it onto my app because you get double stars if you do it on the app. But then a lot of times, conveniently, there's like $4.50 and you need $4.80 for your drink.
Yeah.
And so then you reload it and
then you just have more, and it's like, oh, well.
And then that keeps happening. And you're like, well, I guess I'm only using like a little bit. So definitely a Starbucks lover. I would say out of all the coffee chains, like Starbucks #1, always been, always will be. They have the most variety of non-coffee drinks.
They do, and I love a good coffee, but I do love a good refresher and a good, like, mix it up every once in a while.
Yeah, big matcha gal, love a refresher. Also, not gonna lie, sometimes when I want a milkshake, I'll go get a frappuccino. Because I can get the different milk in it. So, and the breakfast sandwich. I'll end there.
The breakfast sandwich is good. The breakfast sandwich.
Okay. So you mentioned this earlier as well. So recently you've had a little shopping addiction.
Oh.
What has fueled this? Do you feel like you've been influenced by things online? Is this just you got money burning a hole through your pocket? What's fueling your fire right now?
Honestly, this started because I did that like thrifting video because I realized summer is coming quick, and I realized every single year around this time, and honestly even earlier, like around March, spring break, it hits me that like summer's coming soon, it's getting warmer, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to go shopping for summer clothes, blah 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 blah. Then summer comes and I never went shopping for summer clothes, and I always end up hating all of my summer clothes, and I'm just like, I don't like anything. It's so hard for me to find stuff that I feel comfortable wearing because it's so freaking hot over the summer, and like I want to look cute, but I don't want to be uncomfortable, but I don't want to sweat through everything, and it's just like it's just so complicated, and then I just end up like not buying new clothes that I like, and then I just end up complaining all the time. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go thrifting to try to find some clothes because get a good price, all that. And then after I filmed that video where I was thrifting, I was like, maybe I should go to like the Marshalls and TJ Maxx's because you're not spending as much, but it's still like more that you can find like pretty closer to what you might want, whereas thrifting is like a needle in a haystack to find something good. So then I was like, oh, I really want summer dresses. And so then I went to Target, and Target just gets me every time. And then I went to Marshalls, and then I went to Old Navy, and then I just was looking around for different stuff, and then it just went down a hole because I was like, I need summer clothes so I can justify shopping. And honestly, I'm not done. I am not done. I
had a feeling you weren't.
I'm gonna wait maybe like another week or two. Well, I guess this weekend I'm not gonna go shopping because I have all this graduation stuff, but the next weekend I probably will because now I need tops, and I would even take more dresses and shorts. I need it all, girl. So yeah, and
said,
plus I'm going to Texas soon at the end of May, and one, I just always feel
you
like
have so many clothes though. I
know.
Hot take.
I feel like I always need new outfits when I'm going out of town or like going on a trip.
You are bad about that. So
I'm like, I need
She's a one outfit per occasion lady.
I'm like, I need new outfits for Texas, and it's hot AF in Texas. And so I need things that are going to be cute, comfy, but also not sweating my butt off. So that's my hot take on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like anything has influenced me besides I need freaking clothes for summer, and I hate everything. But my closet is really full, and I ran out of hangers, so maybe that's a sign.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign. Because I will say, there's few things in my head that I'll be like, oh, I kind of want to try this, or I maybe want to get it. And you've gotten like 4 things that I've been thinking about, and now I'm like, I gotta go. But
Oh,
speaking of Target, those slides, I've been thinking about getting them. Our Target does not have them.
What?
I was there today. I could not find them.
Maybe they're sold out. Look online.
Well,
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
There's literally like 10 well, first, when I went in there, I saw them and I was like, oh my God, perfect. I need this. And then I was like, $15? Great. They're mine. And then
Oh, wow.
I looked online because they had at the Target I went to, they only had pink and black. And I was like, I'll get the black pair. Black goes with everything. So I scanned it on my app and it came up and there was like 10 colors. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
whoa. I was like, this is a game changer. They have like 2 shades of tan. They have blue. They have green. They have orange. They have yellow. They have black.
Wow.
And I was blown away. And I was
I at
like,
least need a pair.
yeah, I think I'm going to get one more pair, but you should get them.
I kind of want a pair because there's things I'll see on TikTok that's like, oh, go to your Target to get this, and our Target doesn't have it. I feel like they've missed a shipment or something because our clothes have been the same for a long time.
Yeah. There's a couple Targets like that, and well, there's like 5 Targets in the Triangle area because there's like it's a big area, but there's one Target here that I love that always has the good stuff, and then all the other ones are kind of like eh.
Yeah, but I will say there's so much inventory that hasn't moved. Like they still have sweats and stuff, and I'm like, y'all need to get rid of this.
Because
no one's buying it.
It's literally May. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. This one I wrote down honestly for a podcast like in the beginning, and then I never asked it, and so I'm gonna ask it now because I feel like we haven't talked about it. Are you still doing your low Fodmap diet / how is it going if you are? Just like update us about that, and you can explain like a little backstory if people don't know.
Yeah, so basically around my birthday, which is in October, I felt bloated, and I'm not gonna lie, when someone in the past used to tell me they're bloated, I would be like, that's BS. Like you're just not in shape or you're not feeling your best. I didn't know what that meant, but I genuinely woke up one morning and I was like, okay, this isn't my body. Like what's going on? So I spent a lot of time going to a gastroenterologist, which is a stomach doctor, trying to figure out what's wrong. I also did blood tests as well as a food sensitivity test, and basically what she ended up giving me to do is go on this low FODMAPs diet. And what that is basically it's a list of foods that they recommend you don't eat, or at least try to limit how much you eat it because it's harder for your body to digest. And that's also where I took a food sensitivity test to get more specific results. Like the hardest thing, like you're not supposed to have gluten, you're not supposed to have certain kinds of dairy, but certain dairy is okay. You're not supposed to have garlic or onion, and like certain things that are kind of just very common in food.
The one that gets me is you can have red peppers, but not green, or like something like that.
Yeah, well, and that's when people ask and explain it, and I'm like, it's so specific. It's easier, I guess, for your body to break down the red, orange, and yellow bell peppers, but green you're not supposed to have. And certain fruits, like I love cherries, and they're apparently hard to digest, so I try to steer away from them. I would say yes, I feel like I will try to keep living by that diet as much as possible. Obviously, there's something probably every week that gradually isn't on the list, but it's so hard in today's society, specifically going out to eat. If I cook, I'm pretty good. Yeah. But going out to eat, and I think it's helped overall. It's made me more aware of what's in my food and like things like that, as well as
that's true.
A big thing also was drinking wise. I enjoy beer. I like beer, but specifically, I think that was probably the biggest red flag because for the longest time, anytime I would have beer, I would feel it sit in my stomach. No matter how much I ate, no matter how much time had passed, I just wouldn't digest it, and I would have to throw it up to get it out of my system. So even though I like a beer, now I just don't drink it. And there's so many times, and I feel bad because sometimes people will buy me a drink and it's a beer, and I'm like, like I don't want to be an asshole.
You don't want to be
drink
like, take this back. I can't have it. I'm on a low FODMAP diet. If you didn't, but yeah.
Right. So there's that. I definitely recommend checking it out. I've enjoyed it. I hope to keep doing it. And I will say I've learned even things like gluten was the biggest one because I love carbs. I love it's just so good. But
I know.
By taking that food sensitivity test and also just like really paying attention to how I feel after everything I eat. Like, when I have a flour quesadilla, it's such a small percentage of gluten compared to like a sandwich or pasta or whatever. There's obviously alternatives out there for all of that don't have gluten in it. So just knowing, kind of like listening to my body, but it's good. It's going.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that you did. I guess because you just haven't talked about it much, I was like, did she forget about that, or is she still doing it? But
I felt like when I first started doing it, it became a personality trait, which I'm thankful that everyone in my life at the time was super supportive and was always check, like, can you get, like, if we go here, is there something that you can eat? And even now, I will never be the one that's like, no, we're not going there. I'll just get like a salad or something.
You'll just find something and make it work.
But it is still annoying to be like, I can't have beer. But other than that, I don't really care. Yeah. I just make substitutes, or I just know I might not feel great the next day.
You might just suck it up for this one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also certain like over-the-counter medicines that you can take where like if you know you're going to be eating things like maybe off that low FODMAP diet, it'll at least help. So I try to do that when applicable, but
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. This one, I don't know if you'll know off the top of your head.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Something about like the branding for like Ken and Han or like our podcast is that it's Polaroid. So I wanted to ask, do you have a favorite Polaroid in general that's like, oh, this is my favorite one I've ever taken? And explain to us what it is. You don't have to show us because I didn't prepare you for this, but like, or what's your favorite? I don't know. It's like a good way to share a memory.
That is a good one. Oh my gosh, I want to like grab my Polaroid book and like look through it really quick because I know I'm gonna pick one and there's gonna be.
Well, we won't hold it to you. You can tell us your favorite off the top of your head, and then next week come back with your real favorite.
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna give like two maybe. The one that just came to my mind, which is kind of funny, and you might be like surprised that I picked this one, but there is a Polaroid that you took this one actually.
Oh, was it of you and Alex?
Yes. How'd you know? Wait, how'd you know?
Well, I remember taking it, and I'm like, this is going to be one of those cute candid ones.
Yes.
And then you said, you're like, I never get pictures with him ever, much less him dancing. So
yes. Yeah, for reference, one of my best guy friends, and I guess I would say one of my best friends, his name is Alex. We met in college when I went to App State, and we've stayed in touch since, and he's come to Raleigh a few times to visit me. I've gone to Hilton Head to visit him, and Charlotte once to see him. But he was here. Well, was that last year? Yeah,
that was in Raleigh.
My last birthday.
For your birthday?
Yeah, my last birthday. This last September, he came to Raleigh for my birthday. We all went out. It was a great time. And me and Kenna, for each other's birthdays, we like were the cameramen. So she brought my Polaroid around and took like pictures all night, and I brought hers around and did the same thing for her. And she got a really good picture of me and Alex like dancing together in the middle of the bar, and it was just really cute and candid. And Alex is not the kind of guy to dance at all. Like he never, for one, he never dances. For two, he hates pictures, and we just don't have a lot of pictures together. And that one was just really cute and candid and fun, and it's a good memory. And we love a candid photo because sometimes like every Polaroid being posed, it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah,
it's nice to have something different. So I would probably say that. I'd probably say that one.
That shit. Look at that.
You did. And my other thought process was maybe like one that was on like vacation or out of town somewhere with my family, because I have a bunch like that too, like with my dad, or I didn't have a specific one, so I'm gonna stick with the Alex one.
Because now you have disposables, so I didn't know like
yeah
the crossover there for you.
Right. No, I love Polaroids, and I always want to try to take more, like I always do.
Yeah, but I've been slacking.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Also, tell me why. There's certain people or certain situations where I'm just like, not that this isn't Polaroid worthy, because I don't think anything's not in a way, but like, I'm gonna have this forever and I can't get rid of it, or like, I can't just delete it and make it delete it.
Yeah, exactly. Or
there's
like,
some people I'm scared to, because I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna have this forever. Which there's things that come and go, and that's not the issue. It's more just like the randos you meet, and you're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like,
oh my gosh, I have one.
You have one what?
4th of July.
Wait, you have?
Yeah.
You have a Polaroid of that?
Yeah.
Really?
Not of it happening, but like.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Wait, I need to see this.
I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, what the
And
heck?
I remember thinking of like, I don't think anything will come of this, but if it does, like,
yeah,
that's funny.
That's true. I have a Polaroid. Remember New Year's and then breakfast, and then I have a Polaroid of that. Yeah. I like stuffed it away in between like some notebooks because I was like, this is
I put mine
behind.
There's like a group one of me, you, Al, and Sam that like is behind, I think.
Oh my god,
nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know.
You think you see me in this picture?
You didn't. Wasn't me. That was my evil twin.
Never been there.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, my next question, and I don't even know if I want you to answer this, but I'm just asking it anyway because it's funny.
Sure.
Should we tell them about the darkness of the night?
Well, one of my questions for you is explain one of our inside jokes.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So we could do like 2 birds with 1 stone if we wanted to do this. I don't know if they're ready though.
That's why I was like, I don't know if you want to answer it, but I wanted to bring it up.
To be honest, I don't know if we're ready for it.
I don't know if I'm ready for it.
I don't know if they need to know what happens in the darkness of the night.
Okay. Well,
I think we should hold off because I think we might need to come to a consensus before we let people in.
Before we share it on the interweb.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just know darkness of the night, and maybe you guys will find out what that is later. Maybe
we're in our best forms. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
It's so true. It's so true.
They don't need. Okay, so I guess you can answer the question I just asked.
Okay.
Let them in on an inside joke or like an inside
joke. Okay, let me think. The first thing that came to mind, and this isn't. Tell me if this is an inside joke or not. The funniest thing that you ever said that we can't remember. Is that an inside joke? That's just a funny thing that I remember. There was this one time.
Yeah, you can share that.
Okay. There was this one time that Kenna and I were hanging out with some friends. We were
the homies. Was the homies.
Yeah. Was that
Everyone
after
was there.
Thanksgiving? Was that the same night that
Yeah, it was after they had eaten and before we all went out.
Right, okay. So we showed up and everybody was chilling. We were just talking. And everybody was kind of like sitting around.
Was this 2019? 2018?
Oh, gosh. Maybe 20...
One of the two.
19?
I thought it was 19, but I just didn't know.
Maybe. Off the top of my head, that's what I'm going to go with. 2019, so...
Pre-pandemic?
That was only...
Yeah, it was 19.
Years ago.
Because that was the last one.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So 2019, everybody's kind of sitting around the table and like chilling near the kitchen, and me and Kenna are like standing near, like leaning up against the couch.
Yeah.
And people are kind of just talking. I don't even remember what about, to be honest, but I remember Kenna said something like under her breath about one of our friends. Like it wasn't anything
I was talking
mean,
my shit. Okay.
But she was. It
wasn't nice, but it wasn't.
It wasn't cruel. It was like it was like a roast that was funny, that if they heard they would have laughed, but nobody heard it except for me.
He wouldn't have laughed though because he's a sensei.
True, he is. But everybody else would have laughed, and everyone would have laughed with this. But she said something under her breath that only me and her heard. And I looked at her and she looked at me, and we just started busting out laughing because it was genuinely the funniest thing that she has ever said. But to this day, we cannot remember for the life of us what she said. We know who it was about and we know where we were, but we don't know what it was. But I just vividly remember it being so hilarious. I wanted to pee my pants.
Right. And I remember even in that moment not being able to remember it. It's almost like I instantly blacked it out because I was like, you can't go back. You have to die with this one.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
This was...
If I could go back in time and relive anything, it would be that moment just so I could get the laugh again.
Yes, I think that all the time. They're like, if you could go back in time, I just want to know what I said.
Me too, because
I'm a little scared it's maybe not as funny as we think, but I actually think it was pure comedy because
it might ruin like the funniness that we think it is now if we actually found out what it was, because we'd be like, oh, we've been like talking up this moment for our entire lives and it's this.
I think it was funny.
I think it was funny too.
Also, that was like the peak of our friend group. That was the peak of everything. That was like at an all-time high.
It was.
So circumstantially, it couldn't have been better conditions for the joke to land either.
It was good. It was good.
I really do wish the other guys would have heard it though, because I'm sure they would remember it. It'd be one of those things that we'd still bring up to this day and roast him for.
Literally, it would be,
because it was that good.
It was. Wow, that was good. Was there like a specific inside joke that you were thinking of that you wanted me to say, or you just wanted me
I just wanted,
Oh, okay.
I was going to do, hey, boop, but...
Boop, they're not ready.
I don't,
ready.
Baby steps, okay?
Yeah, okay.
That one's fun because I think we've said that before, and it's like kind of a tease because you really don't get anything.
Right, and we don't even get anything because we don't
No.
even know. But
But-
it was good. Y'all had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is more of like it's not serious, but it's less lighthearted. How have you changed in the last 5 years? And I'm pretty sure, like 5 years ago, you were about to start your freshman year of college. Like we graduated high school, 17. Not me doing math on my fingers. We graduated high school like almost exactly 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how have you changed in the last 5 years?
Leaps and bounds, my man. Leaps and bounds. I definitely am not the same human. I remember in 2017 when I graduated high school and started college, I kind of thought I had peaked. I'm like, this is it. It doesn't get better from here. I left high school on such a high note, had made friends, gone to parties, like did all the school stuff that I wanted to do, and like had those like moments that I had dreamed about as a kid come to fruition. And then going to school where I went to school, I was like, I've made it. This is it. Goodbye. See you later. I was getting the most likes I ever got on Instagram. I thought I was the shit, which doesn't matter. But I just remember at the time being like, oh my gosh, this is it. I feel like I've lived 40 lives in the past 5 years. Obviously, New York changed me, as cliche and cheesy as that sound. I think the question was like, how have I changed the most, or just like what has changed?
Just how have you changed over the last 5 years? It can be general. I know I didn't prepare you for this, so you didn't have time to think. But
yeah, I definitely think I view life differently. I have so much of a greater perspective, which obviously comes with age, regardless of your situation. And I'd like to say I'm just more confident in myself and what I want in life.
I agree with that.
I think some people are a little too confident. Like a couple of my friends right now, I'm like, you're riding a little too high. We need to humble you.
Yeah.
But like, I feel more confident in the things that I can do. Like, not much physically scares me. Emotional shit, get me out of there. Not for me. But like, I don't feel like you could drop me anywhere and I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I know how to fend for myself. I've got to experience a lot of things at an early age that I think has just helped prepare me. I do think, and I hope it's not true, I hope I haven't lost like the sparkle for like finding new things. I feel like I'm a little hard, like I'm a tough critic. I think I meet people pretty openly, but I might be a little jaded as far as like experience wise goes. I think New York just set such high standards, and I'm like, Kenna, that's not how everywhere is.
Yeah.
But it's also really allowed me to have this perspective about how simple life really is at the end of the day, and the people that I think sometimes like we as a society look down on, the people that just focus on like working their simple, humble jobs, just making ends meet to provide for their family. Like that's almost kind of, even though I want to have this huge career and do all these quote unquote big things, I really admire just like getting in, getting out, enjoying the time off. Like
yeah.
Whenever and that comes with age too. But yeah, I would say confidence and just perspective on life. It's probably how I've changed the most.
Okay.
Because at the same time, I want to do it all. I want to do it all.
Yeah.
I'm a fiend. Like right now, I'm so hungry for like adventure, experience, work, at like all of it. Down for whatever, as one would say.
True.
All right. This one you can choose to skip because it's kind of been encompassed in the other ones. And I feel like you might say the story we just talked about. What is your favorite memory of us together? I only ask because, sure, we've talked about this before, but I think it changes.
My favorite memory of us together?
I'll share mine or I'll tell you. I won't share the whole story, but I'll tell you what mine is. And you can use it if you want.
Let me think for 5 seconds.
Okay.
I know we're not. We can't sit here in silence forever. But let me think for 5 seconds, and then
sure.
I can't think first, then I'll let you go.
There's just so many memories.
I know, that's the thing. And a lot of our memories that I might say isn't us alone. You know what I mean? Like, does it have to be us alone, or is it just something?
Just as long as both of us were there, it counts.
Okay, you tell me yours first, and I'll think.
I think mine would be one of your last trip to New York to see me, and specifically the day we played the Yes game, and that was invented, which we need to play again.
Oh,
but I think that was just such a carefree day. Like,
I'm
we were
literally
living our best
tangled
lives.
in this cord. Yeah, we were.
Well, that's mine off the top of my head.
That's a good one. It's funny that you say that because the very first thing that I thought of when you said that was my first time visiting you in New York.
Aww.
And the only reason I say that is like the image popped into my head of I have a video of me like running down the escalator because you came to my hotel in Times Square to pick me up, and we were so young. We were like babies. 18. I was 17. You were 18.
Yeah.
And
you had just turned 18 for your birthday.
Oh yeah. It was for my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And but we were still so freaking young, and I was that my first time in New York ever?
I don't know. I wanted to say you had been before.
Maybe I had been once before. Maybe. But I just remember thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Like, it was just the two of us.
Yeah, I cannot believe your family. Let us just go. Because Sam didn't even come.
I know. We were so young, and we were just like running around the freaking city at night.
Yeah.
And
that's a good one.
There's nothing specific, but I just remember it was just like so fun because we were just so young and running around, and I was just like, what the heck? This is so...
Do you remember writing our names in chalk
in
Washington Square?
Yes. I have a picture of it still.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I remember the shoes I was wearing, at least, and they're not in style now, so that's how you know.
I think I was wearing like a blue, like off the shoulder, like silky top-ish maybe, because you took a picture of me on the subway.
Yes, it was.
And you were like,
that.
first subway ride? Yeah.
It was that.
I have a lot of videos.
You wore your like patent leather heels, and you were like, we walked a little bit more. You almost got a tattoo that night.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God I didn't. I also have a video of do you remember? I can't say this out loud, but we were walking in Times Square. And I can't say anything. I'll tell you.
I don't
after.
remember. Okay.
I'll tell you after. That was just a wholesome, like.
Now I'm curious.
Fun night because we weren't drinking. We were just literally running around the city like children.
Well, tell me how we ended up. You were at Times Square. How did we all end up in Washington Square Park?
Girl, I don't know. I don't know.
Both.
I have no idea, but that was the first thing that I thought of because we were so innocent.
Is such a good yeah. And that was also a pivotal time for our friendship because we hadn't gotten as close as we are now.
Right. And it was like
that's when
you
we
had just moved there. Yeah, and it was our first time in New York together.
Oh,
we were so
make me emotional.
Where does the time go?
Okay, speaking of New York, this one will get you. All right, so
wait. Did you ask me the last question, or did I ask you the last?
Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay.
Let's give it away.
F, marry,
not me
kill.
spilling the beans over here.
Okay, this one is pretty lighthearted. What is something from the top of your bucket list?
Oh, the first thing on it, see the Northern Lights.
Oh, that's a good one.
That and go sand surfing are like my top two.
Okay,
just because those
Northern Lights.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do those since I was like a little girl, and they're things that could happen any day of the week. I just gotta go.
Yeah, true.
I also think the sand surfing one I would do with anyone, but specifically to see the Northern Lights, I'd want it to be with someone like a boyfriend or future husband, like fiance level, or like a you and the homies. Yeah, like either besties,
not just anyone.
Right. Because also there's a chance you're not going to see them, and you have to go. Is it Iceland or Greenland? I think it's Iceland.
I think
it's one of the two. But yeah, you got to go up there, and there's not much to do, so like you have to be with people you really like.
Yeah, true. I want to do that one day. That's a good one.
Yeah, there's lots of other stuff, but
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to know it was at the top.
Yeah, that's typically at the top.
F, marry, kill who or what or why?
F, marry, kill. Islands.
No.
Bar taco. Javelinas.
No. Oh no! I knew she was gonna do it. I knew it.
I came up with the first two, and I was like, "What's the third?" And I was like, "I got it.
I knew it. Okay. Oh wow.
Well, I think I know my answer, but to be honest, it's hard.
I think I would F javelinas. Because
Who are you
the
marrying?
only thing there that's like, there's only one thing
You're
that
right.
I want there. There's only one thing. Overall, it's not my favorite of the three. There's one thing there that is the best of the best, so I think I would F. Oh, but I'd want it more than once.
For me, it's the marks plus the queso.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I would marry. But I'm biased.
I think I would F.
You would F
javelinas. Oh, who do I have to kill? Oh,
I don't
no,
even think it's a
bestie.
question, but
Oh.
bar taco's tough because there's no queso.
Yeah.
But
okay. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Well,
I don't want to influence you.
Actually, realistically, maybe I would.
Oh yeah, sure.
You're gonna come for me. Realistically, maybe I would kill javelinas only because I'm not in New York like that.
That's true.
If this was like unlimited whenever I wanted, I wouldn't kill it. But it's like I only have it once every couple years anyway. So maybe I would kill javelinas. If it's like based on our current circumstances and how much we're actually there, I would kill javelinas. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. I can't do that.
That's a damn shame, but okay. So the other two.
And then I would probably I have to marry Islands. I have to be loyal.
No, that's a hot take.
I have to be loyal. Islands has been there for me.
Oh my,
for a long time.
I will say Islands is almost a religion in a way, but
exactly. This is honestly, my answers are not on what I like the most. It's the loyalty. Javelina, bye-bye. Islands, I'll marry you because you've been in my life forever and you've never let me down. And Bar Taco, you're a recent addition and I don't know if I can always count on you. So I'll F you because you're still good and you're still juicy. But I don't know if you're marriage material because...
Oh my gosh, that's a hot take.
It is a hot take, but realistically, I think I like Bar Taco's better than Islands, which is why I'm a F them. And not marry him. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh, she really did him like that.
I don't know, though. Yeah, what would you say?
I think I would marry javelinas.
Kill Islands and F Bar Taco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you would say that.
In a dream world, we'd take the drinks and queso from javelinas. Food from Bar Taco, and prices from Islands.
Yeah. True. I don't know. Something about Islands too is the environment. It's so nostalgic, and
I was gonna say the booth.
Just
an Islands booth.
Exactly. So it's like,
so maybe the environment and the ambiance from Islands. So
right.
Okay.
Right.
I figured that'd be a tough one for you.
For
anyone, I guess that might have been tough to explain, but those are our probably 3 favorite Mexican restaurants, and they're all in different cities. Yes. So, and obviously, like we said, just have different things to offer. So
right. Did you know that there's a Bar Taco in Nashville?
Don't do me like this.
There is one.
Well,
in
now
Nashville.
I know I'm going to eat in Nashville. Mm-hmm. I've also been told I need to get the hot chicken because I didn't get it last time.
I got it last time. It was good. Well, I got a hot. Oh wow, I can't speak. Hello, words. I got
spicy
hot chicken and waffles, and it was so good.
Yeah,
it was good.
I didn't have you
should.
I know I'm getting it when I leave Raleigh or.
Oh yeah, Bar Taco.
I'll take it to go. But they don't offer. They don't offer the same menu online.
That's weird. I don't get that.
They don't offer oysters or fish, just the pork.
The fish is like the best, one of the best, one of the tops.
I get
That's my
2
go-to.
pork, a fish, and an oyster.
Yes,
Best.
I still haven't had the oyster one, but
you're missing out. It comes with the sauce.
Okay, gosh, love it.
Good
Okay.
talk.
Next question. You asked me that, yeah. So I'll ask you. Who are you most influenced by? Now,
tell me why I was going to ask you this. I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You can answer this in the sense of like a YouTuber, influencer, or celebrity, or it could be somebody that like you personally know. You could take it like whatever route you want, and I don't even know what like
this
part of
good.
life I mean, but just in general, who are you most?
Are we talking
by?
Materialistic things or just general? Are we talking the art of influencing, like getting me to buy a product, or just like inspirational?
See, that's what I thought at first, and then I was like, well, maybe it would be fun to like write it as it could be anybody, not just influencer. So maybe just like in general, or maybe do both. One inspirational, one material.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm pretty good at deceiving. Like, I know when you're giving me an ad. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And regardless if they use the product, I think just being on the back end of it a little bit, as well as it becoming more popularized, you can kind of see like, sure, you may like the product, sure, it may be good, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I think about 50% of what we view these days is ads, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've kind of weeded through that. Sometimes sometimes, and I don't even think maybe. I feel like I sometimes influence you for specific products. You just influence me in general, like go buy shit.
In life.
Like, yeah. It's
You're like, I need to go shopping now because.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe you.
That's funny.
I'll say you because no one else comes to mind. I will say recently I have been guilty of not someone in particular, but I see a certain video on TikTok. I'm like, gotta get it. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I just talked about how I was better. No. But what I've been doing now is I'll save a TikTok to my like photos or whatever. And then later in the week when I go through and like declutter, I'm like, do you really want it? Do you not?
And then you
sometimes I'll put it on like a list to get later, or sometimes I'll order it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then as far as life goes, why am I blanking?
I know it's hard. You don't.
I mean, there's people's mindsets that I've really liked, but I also, in my opinion, content has been dry on my YouTube recently. I've been wanting more and it's not there, or the type of content is shift. Everyone has a podcast, which love a good podcast, like and subscribe. But sometimes I want a little bit more action-packed stuff, and I'm not getting it. As far as like visually, I'm like, hit me with something.
You should, not me saying what I'm about to say. You should watch. Claudia just posted a Coachella vlog.
I haven't watched it.
It was like a movie. I'm gonna rewatch it. It was so good, and you probably won't think it's as good as I thought it was. But she's a YouTube genius. I swear. Like, she has the perfect amount of action, perfect amount of like talking, perfect amount of like graphics, edits, length, like engagement. It's just so good. It's like it's like a movie. I swear, you need to watch it. But anyway.
And I've honestly been really drawn to TikTok creators recently. I just think there's so much that app gives you. Like, in a way, it's been doing it for me. So, I don't know. I will say the most gorgeous girl in the world. I'm obsessed with her Instagram. Her name is Paige Lorenz. She was actually in a class of mine at Parsons. It was remote, so we never like met or anything. But I remember her saying she did social media first day of class, so I looked her up. Style icon, fashion icon, beauty icon. Like, if I could morph in to look like someone, it would be her. I just think she's gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, I just love her photography and stuff. So shout out to her.
Shout out to you, Paige. I'm gonna have to stalk your Instagram and see what the hype's all about.
She's dated a couple famous people, so.
Oh, hot take.
Yeah, I don't even put her tea out there because they don't date anymore. But
yeah.
Anyway, okay. This one's a little more serious. I feel like a lot of times people ask, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made? But instead of asking you that, I'm going to ask you, what do you think the biggest mistake I've ever made is?
The list? I'm just kidding.
This is about as juicy as I got, because you can
the biggest mistake I think you've ever made? Honestly, the one thing that I think of, and I think you'll disagree, because you always, whenever we talk about this kind of stuff, you always say that like you tend to cut people off too soon. Yeah. I would say that you're too forgiving when it comes to like a couple instances came to my mind that I'm not gonna say publicly.
I can think of a few.
I don't think either of us want
either
parties.
After.
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
I'm thinking. Well, there's. I won't. Okay.
Well, I think recent and the first one that I thought of.
The first
was like
one, bad.
Long time ago.
What a character arc, though.
Yeah. But I would say that you're like sometimes can be a little too forgiving, or like when you see the good in somebody, like you kind of let it jade the rest of your.
You're right. Like, I agree. 1,000% agree.
Opinions or like decision making about certain things.
It's and I've said this for a while, but it's my biggest strength and biggest weakness all in one.
Which is hard.
I think number one would agree, because we've talked about it.
Yes. Yeah. I think so.
And
yeah, probably.
You and them really hold me accountable for it.
Yes.
Which I will say I think it's gotten better. It's not perfect.
Right.
But
no, definitely progress from, I would say, the first one.
Yeah,
well, I mean, like, progress in how you handle
oh yeah,
things is what I mean.
yeah. Now I know
From, like,
I
then
can
to
just
now.
if I'm thinking about doing maybe I don't want to say a bad thing because I don't think any of them are bad. It's just weak things or things that don't personally better me. I'll just tell Hannah instead of doing it because then I'll be too scared to do it.
Because then she knows I'll come for her if she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard because, like, you want to be forgiving, especially to people who are close to you, because people aren't perfect and people make mistakes. But then there's, like, that line that's like, okay, where do I have to put my foot down, and where do I like keep letting things happen?
There's one person that was pre you that I remembered officially like cutting it off, and it was the first time I can distinctively remember doing that in my life. And it was definitely different, and it's now when like I see them pop up on my social media, I don't even view them as the person that I used to know them as.
Yeah.
And I think it was a friend. It wasn't even like a guy or anything.
Do I know who this is?
You will if I tell you, but I won't.
I think I have an idea, but
yeah.
This
but
like
I
this
will
last...
say my mindset. Oh yeah, us being like.
I know the last 3 minutes is us just like talking in code, and nobody probably knows except for us and like that one person who we might be talking about. But
yeah, they would know just because they're good like that.
They are, but I don't even know if they listen. Anyway,
they don't.
Yeah, didn't think so.
I was gonna say my rationale behind it is because in like the current situation, it's because I know I can go through it. I'm currently not allowing myself to heal as fast as possible by considering their feelings when really I shouldn't.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
I'm self-aware. That's one thing, but
that's so.
And it's,
yeah.
And it's because I hope and I realize me carrying the weight of the pain now will hopefully get to a place that I've never been able to get before in that kind of situation. And I go back and forth daily. I'm like, not is it worth to get there, but like, why do I want to give this person my time and like the benefit of the doubt, and why do I want to hold that weight for them? Like,
shouldn't. Yeah.
Well, and that's where situationally things are
I know, and it all depends. It's hard. There's no like right or wrong way to do things, but I would say off the top of my head that would probably be it, because I don't know that there's like one thing you've done that I'm like, oh, a mistake.
Yeah,
but
I try not to, but no one's perfect. All right, I have two more.
I have two more too. It's my turn. Yeah. Can you share the wildest experience that you had while living in New York City? I know you have a lot.
I don't like these questions because
why? I think
the
these are
wildest,
good.
like,
or like
I don't want to give anything or anyone that was there with me that title.
Okay, maybe not the wildest, but just like a wild experience that you had while living in New York. And I know
what if I can't though? I'll give like a PG appropriate one, but like.
Well, yeah.
I will say recently I feel like I've let people in more. There's a lot about New York that I haven't shared, even to like Hannah and like Matt and like my best friends. Just because I feel like it was a different time. Like there's also things that I'm like, not that if my friends know they won't like about me, but they'll be like, oh, this chick.
Yeah.
Which maybe I should, but I also don't sometimes saying what's happened or what I was like, oh, she did that. Okay. I don't even know. That's so vague. That's awful.
I know. I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? Okay, maybe just like share a fun New York story. Like you could do like the Bruno Mars thing. I would say that's wild.
Oh yeah. So
like that's a fun wild, but that's
wild.
Yeah.
I remember. Shout out Allison. There's no way she listens to this or will ever listen to it. But she was my roommate freshman year. We had such a great time together. And I remember she comes home one day and we had kind of started going out pretty much to like 18 and up things, which is hard to find, but we started to go to clubs and bars and we got to know promoters. And she comes home, she was like, I got us on this list to go to a private Bruno Mars concert tomorrow night. Do you want to go? And she had a friend in town, and we went, and I was just like, sure, we're actually going. There's no way. Like, but anyway,
You're like,
so
okay.
the next night we go up to the Apollo Theater, which is iconic. The whole entire street is closed off. We're waiting in this line. And honestly, a lot of these things kind of start in a sketch way. You're like, you're just waiting on the street with a bunch of other people. And they're like, are you on the list? And you're like, I don't know how I got on the list. I don't know who put me on the list, but I am.
But I think so, yeah. Yeah.
So you wait in line, you get on the list. And then there was these sleeves that you had to put your phone in that magnetically lock, that unless you have like a store magnet, like, you know, when there's like a sensor on it in the store, it was like that, but in a bag. So you couldn't film it because he was singing, I think it was 24 Karat Magic on the top.
Was it like
he did it 3 times.
It was out or something?
Yeah, it was for the CBS or NBC special, which when I watched it, it was all of 30 seconds. And we were out there for a good 2 hours. But we kind of got a private concert. So he did that song 3 times, and they would record him, the dancers, and then would also record the crowd. This is also funny because this is the night that Allison met her now ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
But that was the event we met him at.
I didn't even know that. That's funny.
Yeah, and met some of his friends. And then Bruno sang a couple other songs, and I remember they gave us all back our phones. And then on the big marquee for the recording, obviously they had Bruno's like name there, but they were trying to shut it off so no one could get pictures of it because they didn't want it exposed. But it was kind of obvious what was happening because they shut off the street, and you could stand on like the edge of the avenues and watch. It just wasn't a good view. And there's this huge ass light like projecting down on the street. So it was just cool to say, like, and I think there's maybe 50 people max, like, in this whatever. So it was cool to say you're one of those 50 people.
Yeah. When you told me that, I was shook, and I was also so jealous. I was like, dang, how the heck did you pull the cards to get into that?
Oh, yeah. We never really went to anything quite like that again, but it was...
Dang. Right place, right time, right people.
I know, and also just like, I don't know, good luck.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fun.
Okay, we mentioned summer earlier. What are your thoughts on Hot Girl Summer? Yeah. What do you think that's just girlies trying to hype each other up? Do you think I felt like that was a little dated? Do you think it's coming back? Like, are you going to participate in said Hot Girl Summer?
I don't even. So like, I don't even know what that even is. I mean, I do. But like, remember what I was telling you about like that girl on TikTok? Like being that girl. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, why are we trying to all be the same?
That girl?
Right. I kind of don't like how it's like, oh, Hot Girl Summer, all right. Everyone has to be in their little itty bitty bikinis. You got to be going to the gym every day so you can have a flat stomach and a popping booty. You got to have this and that and do this and that. And like, I feel like it's a little bit toxic.
I would agree.
Because when I hear it, that's what I think. But I think that it could, if you take it the other way, as in like, everybody's just like trying to live their best lives and like do things that make them happy and all of that. I think that that's a better way to look at it than to be like everybody has to be doing this and that, and if you don't, then you're not a Hot Girl Summer girl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree, because my take on it, I have 2 takes. One, I think this mindset of summer, and this is why I've always low-key been a little never really enjoyed summer. I think there's so much pressure to make it something amazing when realistically after you graduate, and even while you're in school, a lot of times you don't just get to go take these lavish trips and do all these things. It's very like an elitist thing to think that's how it is, and very privileged. And we're both thankful we've been able to do things along that lines. But like realistically, people are still on the grind. They're still on the 9 to 5. They don't live near beaches. They don't have the money or the PTO to go take
travel.
Trips. And all this stuff. So just I think it kind of creates a false sense of reality, and then I know a lot of people get bummed. I don't know, the cycle. But then, okay, girls are out here on TikTok and just in general being like, you need to have a roster, you need to do this. And sure, I am all about the roster. I'm all about I'm really all about whatever you want to do.
Right.
I'm not saying roster is the way to go. I'm not saying like, no, whatever. But I know come fall, every girl's going to be upset that they're not cuffed. I know every girl's going to be like, I spent this whole summer with this guy and like we had this great fling and now it's over. Like you perpetuated it with hot girl summer. You set the standards that we were just fooling around, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get your heart broke and come
when
back
it doesn't work out. Yeah,
when it doesn't work out.
I know. I like the idea of like having like a fun way to look at it and like glamorizing summer and like, oh, we're gonna have a blast with our friends and do this and that. But I don't like the mentality that like makes people compare themselves, and it's like, oh, well, if I'm not doing that and I can't do that, what does that make me?
Right. I just want to be hot, but that's it.
Right. Same. We all do. But I also think social media makes you think that hot is this and that when it's like that's different for everybody, you know.
I'm also hot girl fall, hot girl winter, hot girl spring. It's hot girl
all year round. All year round.
Yeah, I don't think you gotta. True. You can't just let yourself go the other months. Like, come on, come on.
No, I have mixed feelings, but I'm gonna try to make this summer the best summer of my life. But we'll see.
You should, as you should.
Okay, my last question. Do you have one more question?
Yeah, I have one more.
Okay, I have one more. My last question, mine is kind of short too. If you had to only pick one genre of food that you could eat, I don't even know if you call it a genre, one style of food that you could eat for the rest of your life and never get tired of, what would it be? I think I know the answer, but I need you to just tell us.
I think it's got to be Mexican.
Mexican. Yeah,
I think it's got to be.
I knew it. I just had to ask it. I had to put it in there.
It's very low Fodmap friendly, very easy to make. Quite a variety. I like that not everything is fried or baked in lots of sauce. I would say Italian, American, even actually Asian's pretty decent. I don't know too much about Mediterranean and Greek and all that stuff. Asian has a lot of sodium in it, like whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever food, which isn't bad, but that doesn't help with the IBS. American's very much fried, barbecue, porks, meats with gluten. And then Italian love, but pasta, pizza, carbs. So I think team Mexican.
Yeah, it's so
What
good.
about you? I think you might be Italian.
I want to say Italian, but I also want to say Mexican. I don't know.
Not breaking the limits.
I don't know. It's so hard.
You know the Kim Kardashian quote that's like, never go against the family. You just went against the family.
No, I don't know that quote, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I like Italian better than Mexican, but I think that if I had to choose for the rest of my life, there's more variety with Mexican.
Agreed.
So I think I'd have to go Mexican.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of a similar format question. I said, if you could only use one social media forever for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Oh, no.
I know.
I don't want to say TikTok because I'm like, is it like Vine? It like came and went. Like it was so popular when it was popular, but then it left, you know?
They all could, yeah.
But I guess they all could.
See, I almost wish I know it's social media, but I wish it fell under the form of entertainment because you're not really like, in my opinion, at least what I do, I don't like really engage with other people.
Yeah, that means YouTube doesn't count then, right?
Well, I was going to put it in there because I think it right?
I would say YouTube because endless amounts of everything is on YouTube.
Yeah,
but that's probably...
I watch more YouTube than TV right now, but I think it'd be tough to give up Instagram.
I was going to say if YouTube doesn't count Instagram because it's the most versatile. It has aspects of all of these social media sites. I can still see what my friends are doing, keep up with them, interact with people, communicate with people.
Yeah.
It has aspects of TikTok with like reels and stuff.
True.
And it's probably like if I had to give TikTok up.
And it could do the IGTV situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd probably say Instagram because realistically I guess YouTube isn't social media because unless you're a YouTuber, you're not really like doing anything except consuming. Yeah. So probably Instagram.
I think I would say the same because I think Instagram nowadays kind of serves as your contact book, low key.
Yeah. It's like the Facebook for our generation.
Yeah. I will say I don't like everything it's done to make changes. Like I don't really enjoy my time on there anymore. Yeah. It's just something I do to keep up with people. But like that's the new like long distance phone calls. Just check the gram.
Yeah, true.
And Snap, I just don't. It's closer for the homies, but if I have text, I don't need Snap.
Exactly. And stories are on Instagram, so why else do Snapchat, you know?
Twitter gone, Facebook gone.
I don't even use Twitter. I never even had a Facebook.
So, yeah, I was debating between TikTok and Instagram just because
I choose Instagram.
It's been entertaining. It's been entertaining.
Instagram. I know. Instagram for the win.
Woo! All right.
Okay, well,
that's going to wrap up this rapid fire questions. I don't know how rapid it was, but I think
it wasn't rapid. I think it was good. I think
it was good combos.
I enjoyed this conversation in this format of like kind of not knowing and being like a little shocked. So
I know I want to do it more.
Me
I
too.
need more surprises in my life.
I know. Good times.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast. We post new episodes every Sunday. Also follow each of us individually on all of our channels at @Tranzuli, at Kinacasto. We love you guys, and we will see you in next week's episode. Bye.